When tech billionaire Elon Musk strides into Judge Beatrix Thorwald's courtroom without an attorney to represent him in a high-stakes patent lawsuit, the judge can't help but chuckle. After 3 decades on the bench, she's witnessed just about everything, but never has she seen someone of such immense wealth make such an absurdly reckless choice. Little does she realize, Musk's seemingly clueless and chaotic approach is not a mistake, but a carefully crafted tactic. While Magnateka's elite team of highly paid attorneys lay out what appears to be an ironclad case, the judge continues to mock Musk's unpolished performance. But beneath the mess of crumpled papers and his bewildered demeanor, a masterful trap is being set, one that will soon leave everyone in the courtroom, including the judge herself, utterly stunned. The sound of 3 sharp bangs echoed throughout Courtroom 7 in the San Francisco Federal Building. Judge Beatrix Thorwald, seated high at her bench, lowered her gavel and surveyed the room with the cool authority of someone who had spent 30 years delivering justice. "The court is now in session," she declared, her voice crisp, controlled, unyielding. She adjusted her glasses and read from the case file before her. Case number 2025, CV 7842, Magnatek Industries versus Musk Innovations. Judge Thorwald had presided over cases involving tech moguls, Hollywood icons, and corrupt politicians. None of them impressed her. None of them intimidated her either. So when Elon Musk himself walked into her courtroom, without a lawyer, she couldn't stop the small smirk that curled at the edge of her lips. Another billionaire who thinks the rules don't apply to him. "Mr. Musk," she said, peering over her papers. "According to court records, you've chosen to represent yourself today. Is that correct?" Musk stood, dressed in a simple dark suit, notably missing a tie. "Yes, Your Honor." A hushed wave of murmurs spread through the room. Even the court reporter's eyebrows lifted in mild surprise. A billionaire defending himself? Bold. Judge Thorwald tilted her head. "Interesting choice," she mused. "Let's not waste time. Opening statements. Magnatek, you may proceed." Dominic Reeves, Magnateka's seasoned, battle-hardened attorney, strode confidently toward the bench. He was tall, impeccably dressed in a tailored suit, his slick gray hair neatly combed back. His glasses alone probably cost more than an average person's yearly salary. "Your Honor," he began smoothly, his voice silk and steel, "this case is quite simple. Mr. Musk's company stole our client's revolutionary battery design. We have the patent. We have the proof. By the end of this trial, the evidence will speak for itself." Judge Thorwald nodded. "Thank you, Mr. Reeves. Mr. Musk, your opening statement." Musk walked toward the front of the courtroom, fishing a crumpled stack of papers from his pocket. As he attempted to straighten them, one fluttered to the floor. Someone in the gallery chuckled. Yes, Your Honor," Musk began, his voice softer than expected. "I'm here today because Magnatek is trying to steal what my team actually created." He shuffled his papers, losing his place for a moment. "The battery design in question uses a special coating that—" He paused, looking visibly flustered. "Sorry, I have some diagrams somewhere." Judge Thorwald raised an eyebrow, tapping her gavel lightly. A small, involuntary laugh slipped past her lips. "Mr. Musk," she said, "this isn't a rocket launch. In my courtroom, we follow proper legal procedure. Do you actually have your evidence ready?" Musk blinked. "I think so." The gallery burst into laughter. Even the bailiff allowed a smirk. Judge Thorwald lifted a hand for silence, but her eyes gleamed with amusement. She had seen this kind of arrogance before. Wealthy individuals believing they could simply wing it in court without proper preparation. From the plaintiff's table, Dominic Reeves exchanged a smug glance with his associates. This was going to be easier than expected. In the gallery, however, one person wasn't laughing. A young woman with short black hair sat near the back, her hands twisting nervously in her lap. Leah Chun, Musk's lead engineer, had watched the entire exchange with increasing unease. This wasn't how they planned things to go. Judge Thorwald leaned forward. "Perhaps," she suggested, "you should have hired a lawyer, Mr. Musk. Patent law is incredibly complex. It's not something most people can just," she waved a hand, Figure out on the spot. Musk finally managed to flatten his papers. I'll manage, Your Honor. She pursed her lips. Very well. Magnatech, please present your case. As Reeves approached with his team of 3 assistants, a row of carefully labeled evidence boxes was wheeled into place. Judge Thorwald leaned back in her chair, casting a quick glance at her court clerk before giving a subtle eye roll. The clerk smiled knowingly. Reeves activated a sleek digital presentation, and the courtroom lights dimmed slightly. A crystal-clear slide appeared on the screen. Your Honor, if I may proceed, Reeves said smoothly. Judge Thorwald nodded. Reeves gestured to the image. Magnatech filed this patent on March 15th. As you can see, this design is revolutionary. Judge Thorwald listened intently, her eyes flickering between the screen and Musk. Meanwhile, Musk took notes, his expression unreadable. As shown in our records, Reeves continued. Musk Innovations began producing an identical design in April. The timeline alone proves our case. Despite the damning evidence, Musk remained oddly calm. At one point, Judge Thorwald caught him staring blankly at the courtroom wall. Mr. Musk, she cut in sharply. Are you even listening? Musk blinked, as if waking from deep thought. Yes, Your Honor. Good, she said. Because I won't have you wasting this court's time. Musk's expression remained unreadable, but a faint flush crept up his neck. As the morning session dragged on, Judge Thorwald felt her irritation rising. Musk's approach was so careless, so chaotic, that when he finally objected to something, his argument was so badly structured that she had to cut him off. Mr. Musk, she said, barely concealing her exasperation. That's not how hearsay works. Perhaps you should study Legal Procedure 101 before attempting to argue in court. The courtroom erupted in quiet chuckles. But what no one realized, not Judge Thorwald, not Reeves, not even the laughing spectators, was that Elon Musk wasn't nearly as unprepared as he seemed. Behind the fumbling exterior, behind the scattered papers and nervous stammering, he was laying a trap. Elon Musk didn't smile. He rarely did when working. But a spark lit his eyes. If this works, he murmured, scanning the data on the tablet. At scale, we could power a house for a month on something the size of a brick. He paused, then added, or a car for 1,000 miles. Lila whispered, barely daring to believe it. We did it. We actually did it. That's when Musk's phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen, and his expression darkened. Victor Hammond is here. Lila's smile faded. Magnatech CEO? Musk exhaled sharply. Wants to talk about a partnership. Lila tensed. Are you sure that's wise? Magnatech has stolen designs before. Let me worry about that. Musk stood, already heading for the door. Just cover this up. Hide everything important. Victor Hammond was tall and polished, his suit crisp, his handshake firm. Too firm. His perfect teeth gleamed in an easy smile. Elon, thanks for seeing me, Hammond boomed, flanked by 2 assistants clutching tablets. Musk skipped the small talk. What can I do for you, Victor? Hammond got right to the point. Magnatech wants to partner with you on energy storage. We have the manufacturing capabilities you lack. You have the creative spark our engineers sometimes miss. Musk nodded slowly. Interesting. What did you have in mind? A tour today, Hammond said smoothly. And then we'll talk details. I'd love to see what you're working on. Musk studied him. Hammond's smile was wide, but his eyes were sharp, like a predator sizing up a meal. A quick tour, then, Musk agreed. But some areas are off limits. Ongoing research. Of course, Hammond said quickly. As they walked through the facility, Musk noticed Hammond lingering in certain areas, his gaze sweeping over equipment with careful interest. Once, Musk could have sworn one of Hammond's assistants snapped a photo when they thought no one was looking. They reached the main lab doors. Musk stopped. This area is restricted. Hammond nodded in understanding, but Musk caught the flicker of